All right, so you've probably heard about people filing for bankruptcy over their credit cards and having just too much debt. Well, have you ever heard of credit card companies suing them for their money back? Today, these are some absolutely terrifying stories and how we can prevent this from happening.
Owe them. Back from 2023, I beat cancer and I had used my credit cards to survive. And they're finally coming after me. It's $31K. They just served me. Does anyone know what I do? What do I do? Please.
Damn. Could you imagine? You beat cancer and now Amex is like, well, we want our money back that you used probably for your cancer treatments, or not even. Maybe you have medical debt as well. At that point, because cancer, I just can't even believe this country sometimes. Like, I do love America because I love Americans, right? I think we are some of the nicest, friendliest people, but how we treat each other, and it's so weird because once Americans get into corporations, they forget that we're, Americans and, we should be caring about each other. We're really a community. We are a community of like 300 million plus people, but it's like there's just sociopaths who run corporations. Again, I understand, and I know some of you in the comments are writing, well, if you owe money, you need to pay it back. I completely understand, but sometimes we are actually getting scammed, especially by our medical system. I could only imagine maybe, because if it's 31K for his medical bills, that is, and if you're a European watching this or a Canadian rep in Canada, that would be for cancer treatment, 31,000 would be such a steal. Right? So if I was him, oh my goodness, I would just be bawling in my car. Don't file bankruptcy. Negotiate with them at court. Set up a payment plan for 40% of the amount and make sure it includes removing from credit. Mortgage credit analyst here. Good advice, I hope. This is not financial advice, but if you want to research into that, go right ahead. I owe $25,000 and they sent me a settlement letter for $10K. Great deal, but I ain't got that either. Americans are strapped for cash. What is it? Like 1 in 5 or half of Americans? I think it's like half of Americans don't even have $1,000 for an emergency. It's really messed up. It's really, if we can't even scrape together what Dave Ramsey has been telling us since the 90s to have like 1,000, what makes you think people can do 10,000 of a settlement of 25K? Again, pay back the money that you took, I get it, but I don't know, maybe I'm just too lenient. And again, I've never been in a situation where money was owed to me and you do have to hold people accountable. I do understand that. It's just such a sad situation when I've seen so many layoffs occur. Because if you have a job, you can easily pay off your credit card every month. That's no issue. And if you have a good job, you call and tell them that you'll schedule a payment plan with them and lower it to 15. Yeah, make sure that you are able to do some sort of settlement with them if the courts need to be involved. Sometimes that does backfire, but the courts are probably going to side with the credit card company since you do owe them money. It's a sucky situation.
Get ready with me to go and get sued. A couple weeks ago, I was sitting at my house when a lovely police officer came over and served me papers and let me know that I was being sued and had to make an appearance in court. So I'm like, okay, this is a prank. I'm actually being sued. Come to find out, I am being sued for a credit card that I had when I was like 18 years old, 6 or 7 years ago. And these heifers are suing me all this time later, but let me explain. So when I was a struggling college student, I was going to school probably 35 hours a week and then working on the days that I didn't have school. So I took out a credit card to help me pay for food and gas and things. And then life happened. I've had 2 kids since then. This credit card is literally in my maiden name. And I'm gonna be so for real with y'all. I forgot that this credit card even existed. I just completely forgot about it and stopped making payments on it. I am aware that this is 100% my fault. But hey, we've all been young and dumb before. Lordy Morty, I think even at 26 or almost 26, I'm still young and dumb. So if you are a struggling college student or struggling in general and you decide you want to borrow some money, this is your sign to always pay it back, because one way or another, those crazy little sneaky little brown nosers are going to catch up to you. They're going to expect you to pay up. Y'all say a little prayer for me and the rest of the courtroom, because something comes over me sometimes and it makes me cry for no reason. So let's hope that I don't start bawling my eyes out in front of everybody. Wish me luck.
Not me having anxiety that there's something I haven't paid and forgot about. Dispute it. It's been over 7 years, so they shouldn't be legally allowed to sue you.
Get ready with me as I get ready for a court case, as I'm getting sued by Credit One Banking from a credit card I opened up when I was 20 years old. I opened up this credit card mostly to help fund me in college. The limit was only $350, but unfortunately I broke my shoulder the same year. I have a huge scar and I couldn't pay back. It then went to collections, and furthermost, I just thought that later on I would maybe pay it back in life. Maybe, I don't know. I would pay it back, but just not now. And then I got sued. So get ready with me. They're only suing me for $700. That's all they want, which I have in my account. But I'm gonna try and see if I can get it down just for my $350 limit. I feel like I have lived 1,000 lives for being only 26 years old, and one of them would be that I broke my shoulder when I was 2019 when I was 19. I've gotten sober from alcohol. I'm almost 3 years sober. I own my own car. I'm trying my best. I went to college. So yeah, get ready with me.
I just went through this. Capital One sued me, went to court to set up a payment plan arrangement. I'm paying $60 a month for the next 5 years with no additional interest or anything being added. As scary as it was walking into that, it was an easy process and I was out within an hour. Again, they just want their money back. Now, some people aren't so lucky to get a lower payment plan arrangement, but if you are, take it as, and then if you're able to pay it off as soon as possible to restore your credit. Former debt collector here, debt consolidation companies are a scam. You can set up the same things for free with individual credit card companies. You just have to ask, usually a manager who has more authority than the people who are actually calling you, to be nice to them. That's literally how they're paying their bills. And to be up to date on FDCPA laws, if a collector messes up and doesn't follow the rules, your debt could be wiped clean. Yeah, I think, and then debt consolidation companies, like, why do we have so many predatory companies that are able to come after us? It's just like, why are payday loans even a thing? Like, we have a lot of consumer protections, but then we also have a lot of predatory companies that pop up and are somehow able to bypass consumer protections.
I'm being sued by a credit card company for $5,000 for not paying the bill. You know how you don't know what you don't know? Well, I learned this the fucking hard way. I got into a lot of debt being a single mom in nursing school. Like, I really racked my credit cards up surviving, you know? And then when I started making money, I tried really hard to pay them off, but it just, like, I was drowning in it. I just, like, had a really hard time getting out of it. I tried to get a loan and I couldn't get approved for one, so I ended up consolidating all my debt. You know, like, I did research it. Like, I understood I was going to ruin my credit. I knew that it was going to be bad, but I had just got a new car. I had my place. Like, it was fine. Like, I could handle this for a couple years and just have bad credit for a while and then build it back up. And this is my fault for not understanding, but I just didn't know. You have to stop paying on the bills because they won't settle your credit card bills unless there's, like, you're behind on them and there's a need for it. So you just stop paying on them, which felt wrong, but it's what I did. But when
And the thing is, it is better to stop paying on your credit card. Again, this is not personal advice. This is not financial advice at all. But what I would do, and the advice that I have heard and I personally agree with, whether or not you do or don't do this, that's on you. But with credit cards, right, your payment to your credit cards is less important than you being able to feed your family and pay for the bills that keep a roof over your head.
the ones that I owed like $5,000 on, which was my biggest one, that was the only one that they like didn't shut down, and it just like kept growing and growing and growing. And I was like, what the fuck do I do? And they were like, just keep paying us and like we'll get it settled. And I was like, okay, like this is what I do. Eventually the credit card did get shut down, but I still never got like the documentation saying it was settled. And I was like, you know, it'll probably be coming. I just need to build that account up more, you know, whatever. So I've been paying my monthly payments, you know, trying to get it settled. And then today, as I'm sitting in my car, I get served, and like, I just didn't even know that this was a fucking option. The credit card company's suing me for the $5,000, but I've also been paying the $5,000 off from the other company. So of course I call them and I spend all morning on the phone with these fucking people. And they're just like, well, all we can do is extend your payments out, because obviously they have to make a profit, right? So if it's settled for the amount that it's settled for, then they're not making a profit. So they want mass amounts more money in order to settle this now.
And that's the thing. These credit card companies, they want their money, right? They want you to rack up a high bill. One of the things, right? They want you to rack up a high bill so that if you had like 0% interest on your card, then once it starts, once that initial APR percentage is over, then it goes skyrockets to like, what, 20% for credit cards? They want their interest, but more important, they just want the money that they lent you back. And I personally just have never heard of credit cards suing people, but especially for such a small amount, like that's so immaterial to how much the banks earn just in interest in general. But obviously it's in their interest to get their money back. Otherwise, they're not going to make money. But they will get bailed out by the government if things go south.
But I'm also at the same time being sued and have to go to court over this. And they're now telling me like, oh, well, you won't have to go to court if you just extend your payments to us. But like, that doesn't seem right. Like, I don't know. I can't afford a fucking lawyer. I literally don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore. And it's just one of those things that feels like I tried so fucking hard. Like, I got myself through nursing school as a single mom, and it was really fucking hard. And I've been trying so hard to get ahead. And every time something happens, it's just like this. Like, I'm never gonna be okay. And it's one of those times I wish I just had a family member I could call to rescue me.
And that's another thing. This is probably going to happen more and more now that our economy is not doing so well. Like, we are doing worse as a country and really globally than we have in previous times. Now, are we at Great Depression levels? God, I hope not. I really hope not. I don't think we're there, and hopefully we never will be ever again. But more and more people are unable to afford life. Paycheck to paycheck. People aren't even paycheck to paycheck anymore. They're just under paycheck to paycheck. I don't even know what you call that. Like, it's horrible. It's really horrible. And then with how families are, right? Back in the day, people used to have at least, a bunch of siblings. Now, or, boomers would be able to help their kids out. But I think boomers are being wrung dry as well. They're kind of realizing that they're just house rich instead of actually having money. So it's just a bad situation all around.
But I just feel like I have to try so much harder than everybody else just for the bare minimum of life. And I did the whole thing where you break your poverty circles, which I know is hard. I'm the first one in my family with a college education. I'm the first one of my siblings to graduate high school. I tried really hard. And I know at least for my kids it'll be easier for them. They'll never have to try this hard, or they'll at least have help when they need it. But I'm just really tired.
My heart goes out to her. I really hope she's able to figure it out. And I think probably with the power of TikTok, they are able to, maybe donate money or watch this video a lot. TikTok doesn't pay out as well as I've heard it used to, especially before the TikTok ban. It's really hard out here.
Skyper, count your motherfucking days. Count your motherfucking days. All sued me for a credit card that you gave me 10 years ago, and you gave me a $10,000 credit limit at 21 years old. Okay? So you sued me. I get it. I didn't pay it back. That was my fault. I fell on hard times, okay? I had a lot of shit I went through, okay? So I didn't pay him. Y'all sued me. I tried to work with the lawyer and say, hey, I can only afford $50 a month, okay? I can only afford $50 a month. Literally, I work 3 jobs. I do fucking DoorDash. I don't know. What else do you want from me? They said, no, 160. And I was like, well, no, I can't afford that. And then they said, oh, well, can you borrow money from someone? No, if I could borrow money from someone, I would, and I would give it to you. Trust me, I'm not trying to say I didn't do it, but I don't have the money. I don't have it, okay? So y'all sued me, and I got a letter because the judge ruled in favor of them, obviously. But I got a letter, and the letter pretty much says, hey, so you gotta pay this, and there's gonna be interest on it until it's paid in full. So I don't have the money. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't have it. I do not have it. Y'all spent more money on a lawyer than to just write it off. I'm sorry, I fucked up, but I don't have it. That was predatory. I was 21. You guys gave me $8,000 to start with, and then when you saw me hitting that limit, y'all said, let's raise it to 10 grand.
I owe them $11,000 and stopped paying them about 3 months ago because I couldn't afford it anymore. I don't know what to do. I stopped paying them in February after losing my job due to kidney problems. They served me in July. Their lawyer didn't show up to court, so my case was dismissed. That's absolutely such a wonderful outcome. Due to kidney problems, I got served. I'm $2,100 in debt if I call, and I'll do payments now. Will I get out of court? Yeah, probably. I offered what I could afford, and they said no. Oh my goodness.
If you're being sued for a past due debt, there's only one thing that you need to know, and that's this. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. In case we haven't met, I'm Jay Fleischman, the MoneyWise lawyer, and for the past 28 years, I've been helping people with debt problems. So let's say you fall behind on a debt. It goes to collections, you refuse to pay, or you can't pay, and then ultimately they file a lawsuit against you. Now, assuming that you're smarter than 95% of the people who get sued, you respond to the lawsuit because if you don't respond, they're just going to get a default judgment against you, and then it's just game over. So let's say you respond. Now, you've seen enough content to know the collectors need to prove their case. And let's say that in this case, you know that they can't do it. Let's say they don't have the original cardholder agreement. They don't have proof that they own the debt. So you win, right? Not necessarily. Ultimately, the case gets decided by a judge, and that judge is just a human being, and they've got their own biases and their own preconceived notions about the world. So you can win the case if you get one judge, or if you get a different one, maybe you're going to lose it, and it's completely up to chance which way it's going to go. So yeah, the collector needs to prove the case, and yeah, you need to prepare for trial, and yeah, you need to understand the rules of evidence and how to put the case together, but no matter how hard you work, there's still this judge, and this judge is going to make the final decision. So you need to understand that there are risks involved in litigation. Now, I don't know, maybe you're a gambler, maybe you're willing to lose a trial, but maybe, just maybe, settling the case is a better idea for you because you're going to sleep better at night and you're going to get rid of the risk. Or, I don't know, maybe bankruptcy is the best way to deal with the debt. But so long as you go into the process with your eyes wide open, you've got at least a shot at success, however it is that you define that success.
Well, that was kind of a scary one, right? I did not know that credit cards could sue you, but it obviously makes sense. This is America, right? So what do you think? Have you ever been sued by a credit card company? Do you know anyone who has? Does this scare you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like videos like this, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.